Okay, so I want to say welcome to TLS Tuesday. I'm here to talk to you about not giving up. And I want to say, it is so easy. All of us has dreamed, all of us has goal. And, as we are trying to propel towards a goal and working hard towards a goal, there are times that we feel like giving up. And that applies to me too. There are times I feel like giving up. There are times I feel sucks. It's not easy. It is not easy. That's why we work towards it. Okay. If it's easy, it's not a goal. It's something that we already achieved. It's supposed to be challenging, but it's not supposed to be something that you cannot achieve, but it takes time and consistency. And for that, I really, really want to talk about the why behind that. What is your why? Why did you start it in the first place? Is it for health? Is it for because your doctor were talking to you and you said that I need to lose the weight for my health or for my energy level? Or is it because I'm at the age where I know if I continue to gain weight, I will not have the energy to play with my kids or to play with my grandkids? Or is it because you are at a certain stage in your life and you say enough is enough, I need to take care of myself? Who are you? Why did you start? If you forgot about your why, take the time to reflect and write it down. If you did not write it down, I really feel like sometimes we get so busy in life and we get so stressed in life, sometimes we just forget what we want. And we just let that temporary feeling of being defeated take over our whole thoughts. Our thoughts are so powerful because our thoughts somehow will create words. And words, after saying a while, becomes a reality. So let's suppose that you are going to maybe follow TL's program for a while, and you said, you know what? It's not getting anywhere. And you said, I can't do this. I want to give up. And as soon as you say, I want to give up, and you say it almost every day, guess what happened? Those thoughts about I want to give up, and you actually say it, those become your new behavior. I want to give up. I'm going to give it up. So be very careful what you put in your mind because this is a very powerful machine. They really process it and they really actually changes your perspective. At the same time, because it's so powerful, we can reverse that perspective and ask yourself, and this is why creating a vision board, I always create a vision board for every goal that I want to achieve because it's a reminder. I want to drill it in my head so that I have these thinkings every single day. So my action is consistent towards achieving my goal. So that is the one and foremost. Second is that if you are not getting the result that you're looking for and you feel like giving up, instead of giving up, ask yourself, are there something that I'm missing? Chances are, if you are been losing weight and you start to hit those plateau and you said, you know what? I know I'm so close, but I'm just so tired. I don't feel like doing anymore. There is possibly another reason. It could be digestive health issues. It could be hormonal issues. It could be that you have been having a lot of metabolic inflexibility that you need to work on to get your body to respond the way they're supposed to respond. Maybe your stress level is too high. Maybe you haven't slept enough. If you haven't slept enough and you've been sleep deprived, guess what? Your body is not going to lose the weight that you want because your body is tired. So before you give up, ask yourself what happened in the last few days or few weeks or last couple of months. What happened? I bet you it will relate to either some sort of digestive health issues, hormonal imbalances, some sort of metabolic things that we still need to work on and fix them, and your sleep, your stress. Okay. And you say, okay, none of that. I'm just tired. I'm at the point where I just want to give up. So I'm going to give you some ideas to help you kind of reframe this. Number one is ask yourself, okay, instead of thinking how much further that I need to go, like to work on to get to my goal. When you think about how much further you're going to get to your goal, it's overwhelming because like you said, you want to give up. So when you think, oh my goodness, imagine I'm walking. Okay, and I knew I still have 10 more blocks to walk home. Doesn't that feel overwhelming? Of course, I have 10 more blocks to walk home. However, Instead of focusing on the 10 more blocks that I need to walk through, maybe focus on what's the next street that I will see. Focus on that next street, that next street, that next street, that next street. Focus on that next thing. Don't focus on the end result. Focus on what the next thing I can do. And when you can narrow that focus, you finally find yourself able to have that energy to pick yourself up to start over again, to really get your belt back on track. Okay, so don't overwhelm yourself by thinking too far, like too far ahead of time, ahead of you, and make you overwhelmed. Instead, narrow that focus. What can I do today that contribute to my health, that contribute to my weight loss success? One thing. You just have to do one thing different. Maybe it's an extra serving of vegetable. Maybe it's an extra serving of protein. Maybe it's an extra serving of more fiber-rich food. Maybe it's an extra glasses of water. It's literally that one thing. You'd be surprised that one thing, if you do consistently, start to get you closer, closer, closer to that goal that you wanted to achieve. So instead of thinking how much I need to do, how much I'm giving up, think about what's one thing I can do better today. What's one thing I can change? Okay, that's number one. Number two, stop labeling the food as good or bad. It's human nature. When you label the food as bad, what do? You want it more. And stop focusing on that food. Instead, ask yourself, what did I nourish myself enough with the healthy food? And if after I nourish myself with healthy food, there's not a lot of space for the so-called, I said, food that does not nourish you. Sometimes I don't even use the word bad food. I would say, does this nourish you? This doesn't nourish you, right? So so what's your end goal? And you said, well, I want to give up. I don't care about my end goal. Then ask yourself, how do you want to feel? Because you know that when you eat certain food later, you don't feel the best. Like I tell people all the time, when I eat food that are not my usual typical food, like a bowl of noodle soup, which I do love, or dim sum for a lot of Asian people, I think they tasty. But every time when I eat it, I feel tired. I really feel tired. I feel exhausted. So that one meal causes me to feel exhausted. Guess what I do? I want that quick fix. So I go for that coffee, where I don't even usually drink that coffee because I need to work, because I have a very busy schedule. So one poor or not one so great choices lead to next choices. So a lot of time the consequences, the step by step, what we call the domino effect, started because of that first choice. But instead of labeling good or bad, ask yourself, can I add a lot more good things so that there's not, that weed out the bad, because there's no space for it. Right? Start thinking that way, because when you focus so much on the bad, you want the bad. It's just human nature, right? Like if I focus on the ice cream that I can't have, I want the ice cream. Bottom line. And I'm not even a big ice cream fan. The number three is that you need to understand that you don't beat yourself. Don't beat yourself. Okay? Yeah. So what? You have a bad day. So what if you have a bad week? So what if you have a bad month? Can always get back on track. And I like to use the analogy of a car. If you have a bad day or a bad week, okay, imagine a car with 4 tires. Maybe one of the tires, like, okay, you poke the hole in the one of the tire. Okay, yeah, it releases some air, but the other 3 tires are still working. But when you sabotage yourself and you beat yourself, you say, you know what? What the heck? I already did it. I ruined my day. I ruined my meal. I ruined my month. That's it. You decided to sabotage the rest of the tire. So what happened with the car with 4 deflated tire? Not moving anywhere. Exactly where you don't want, because you want to move forward, not backward, or stay where you are. So when you poke one hole to get one tire deflated because you had a bad day, you had a bad week, you even have a bad month, it's okay. The other 3 tires are still brand new and they're fine. Just don't beat yourself, but the most important, don't sabotage the rest of it. You have come this far to give up. So don't give up. And I want to end by saying one story, and I love this. And it was a story of the egg, right? When we know when egg is raw, right? When we haven't cooked the egg, it's soft, right? When you crack the egg, it's nice and soft. But when you boil the egg, it's literally that 1 second to become a hard-boiled egg. It could be that 1 second. And imagine if you're giving up just before that 1 second hits. Or another story that I love is that temperature, right? When we hit that 100 is where the boiling happened. You were 99. You just need to hit one more, okay? One more Celsius. We hit 100 and the water will boil. That one more. So don't give up. You're worth it. You'll come this far. You have so much courage, and you took that courage to be where you are, and you make that change. You deserve this. And it's okay when you have these challenges. That's life. That's called life. And the challenges is there to make you a stronger person. So for those of you who are ready to give up, hopefully this video helped you to reframe things, to start thinking about it differently, narrow your focus on one thing at a time. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't beat yourself. You're only human. You have challenges, and that's what life is about. And I wish you the rest of a good week. And last but not least is always go back to your why whenever you question why you started in the first place. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everyone.